Bored. Just thought I'd go live and have a chat with any of you guys that are in. If you're in, say hello. Anybody there? Yep. Flat out Faith, nice to see you. Hi Del. Morning Dragonfly. Actually, it's just turned afternoon, hasn't it? God, I'm bored. Bored. You know when you're waiting for paint to dry? That's essentially what I'm doing. I'm waiting for this one wall that I'm painting inside. This is a different house I'm on today. And I'm just waiting for it to dry, and it's just taking its time. Eric, nice to see you. Kerry, hello. It is. It's not my backyard. I wish it was my backyard. My backyard is nothing like this. Just take a look at this beautiful house. So I'm just chillaxing on these chairs out here. Looks like they've got a heater there as well. That's pretty awesome. Watching wet paint dry, yeah, for sure it is. It's stressing me out. It's a blue wall, and it was a dark blue wall. Anyway, she wants the whole room going white. So I've put 2 coats on this bloody one wall already, and it's still not covered it completely, and I'm just waiting for it to dry, and it's taking forever. Proper posh, yep. If it was my house, I would have a hot tub for sure. I'd put it right there, I think, in the back garden, right where that frame is. Oh. What else can you do when you're bored, eh? What else can you do? Well, we got a show tonight. Yeah, it is this. It is in the northwest. Yeah. It's where are we? It's close to Poulton in Blackpool. Skin Up. Yeah, I used to skin up. I used to when I was 27. God, I used to skin up quite a lot back then. Not anymore. Ranty trying to prove he's a painter and decorator. Yeah, exactly. Trying to prove it. Catch the eclipse? The eclipse? Was there an eclipse? Did you say an eclipse? Oh, if it's Poulton, then it's posh. Well, it's sort of like, it's between Poulton and Leighton, I would say. I could always see an artist side to you, Ranty. Check Trinity 4. Well, I didn't even know there'd been an eclipse. Genuinely, I didn't. His thesis. You're going to have to ask him. Hey, good day, Mind Warped. Guys, listen, Mind Warped. You guys should all head on over to Mind Warped's channel and subscribe over there, because this guy did my introduction to the round table. That's pretty ace. What have I got there? Stone on my shoe. What is your Yeah, they just, I don't know, they seem to think that I'm not a painter and decorator, which is hilarious. So I'll show you the wall. It's this wall here. It was blue when I started it. Hang on. Why is it not focusing now? Come on. There we go. So yeah, it was blue, but it's still showing through. It's patchy. It's peeing me off. Look, see my finger? See that? Still wet. Still wetty. Ron Habberg, nice to see you in. Hey Travis, MI5 Studio. Yeah, it could be an MI5 Studio, you never know. It'd be pretty ace if it was. Looks like they've got a little park out the back there as well. Yeah, it's a nice little area, this. Gorgeous view. Indeedy. Indeedy it is. Like the pathway. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing something similar at mine, but obviously we don't have a garden anywhere near the length of this. I got this damn bloody big garage at the back. I don't really want to keep that. Never trust painters, they always go through drawers. Right, okay. Love how Owen Benjamin points out that the sun and moon line up perfectly for the eclipse, and how we are told with distance scale they just so happen to be the same size. Yeah, exactly. 400 times further away and 400 times as big, apparently. Apparently. You know, it's utter garbage, which we know. Have you seen Jay Tolan Media's latest video? I think it's awesome. The stuff he's pulling out over there with his infrared stuff is just awesome. For some reason, I just keep losing signal, so just bear with me, guys. Yeah, well, Mind Warp, there's the thing, you see. You know, I mean, I tried to get out of painting and decorating at one point by doing something different. So, and it's quite interesting, actually, because a lot of people are commenting that I'm just a painter and decorator, and he's not a scientist, and and who's going to believe a painter and decorator? Painter and decorators are thick. Well, we all know education is bullshit anyway. However, what would it be now? About 6-7 years ago now, I took on a full degree. So I did 3 years at university. Out of the blue, gave up my decorating and took a full honours degree on. So I got my full honours. I stuck at it for 3 years, and you know, technically I could put letters after my name if I really wanted to. It was in something called media design, so it involved doing things like building apps for phones, doing video editing, so using video editing software, producing videos, just sort of like languages, computer languages, being able to build websites from scratch, all this kind of stuff, you know, something that a painter and decorator shouldn't really know. But all that proved to me was, and I'll be honest, because after 2 years I really didn't want to do personal achievement more than anything. I just wanted to do it to prove that I could do it, and I stuck at it, and I got my full honours degree. Now, what does that prove? It proves nothing other than I'm a determined little shithead who can, when he applies himself, work at things. So, yeah, I did think about doing something different. You know, at one point, you know, I was getting worn out with my hands, carpal tunnel in my hands, bad back, all that kind of stuff. And I did want to do something different. And it's likely that I probably will do something different in the future. Because I obviously can't keep up the decorating like this forever. There's a limit to how much you can work. I've been doing it for over 30 years, so it's just one of them, innit? You know, your body wears out. So, where did I do my degree? Lancaster University, David. So, yep, got my... and ultimately, I'm never going to put it to any use, apparently, because all the stuff that I learned, you know, all the programs, all the stuff like that, I mean, it's so outdated now. I mean, it was only, 4 years ago or so when I actually qualified. Maybe 5 years ago, I can't remember now, 4 or 5 years. But the technology and the languages and everything that you used back then, it's all dated. It's all out of date. You know, things change so quickly. So I'd never be able to get into anything like that. But ultimately, it was just a personal thing that I wanted to achieve for myself. And I've got that. I've done it now. Like like I say, does it prove anything? Does it prove that I'm brainy or intelligent? Not at all. Nothing of the sort, you know. But it was a kind of, it was a degree where you had to put your own spin on things with flair and talent. So it wasn't like you were regurgitating something like in geography or chemistry or biology or anything like that. It was something that you had to develop from yourself, like video editing, producing videos. You know, they couldn't tell you how to script that. You had to do it yourself. So all this kind of thing, it was all from within. So, you know, I got my way through that 3 hard years of doing it after spending all that time doing painting and decorating. So all these people that are just bitching and saying, oh, you know, he's got a 4-bedroomed house. Well, hell's bells. I've got a 4-bedroomed house, but do you know something? My mortgage on that is probably cheaper than a 1-bedroomed flat to rent. Literally, you know, if you lived in Glasgow or even in Blackpool, really, you can rent a 1-bedroom flat for about 100 quid a week. Well, essentially, that's what my mortgage is £427 for a month for my 4-bedroom house. So it's cheaper than a 1-bedroom flat for rent. So it makes sense to buy your house, doesn't it? Did you have to take any laughable Holocaust live classes? No, afraid not. That's cute. Get out with a P1000. I don't have a mortgage. What's your point? What has having 4 bedrooms got to do with that? Exactly. Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you know, we had a budget to what we could afford to spend and how much we could afford to buy a house for. We had a budget. We had a look around, and within our budget, what we could afford, we saw a 4-bedroom property, which was, I think, the only 4-bedroom property we could purchase in our price range. So we bought it. But other people bitch about this. You know, the fact that I have a house. It's like, come on. Rent houses. Just makes more sense to buy a house, but because you've bought a house, you're some kind of spy or something like that. It's just ridiculous. Where did you take your degree, Ranty, and what year? I'd have to check on my Facebook, but I think it was 2009 to 2012 or 2011 to, I can't remember now. It's on my Facebook. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you'll see it on there. Yeah, exactly. I don't get it either at the end of the day. You know, I think they think that because I own a 4-bedroomed house, I'm probably paying thousands of pounds a month buying it or something. They don't seem to realise it's cheaper than actually renting a 1-bedroom flat. You have to check where. How dare you have a job? What uni did you take it at? David Gregory, Lancaster. My mortgage is less than yours, is it? Well, there you go. I mean, you see, a lot of people don't seem to realise that, you know, if they're renting a place, that, you know, it's, the landlord or whoever is making an absolute fortune out of it by ripping people off. And, you know, if you want to be like, you know, if you just want to have no mortgage or whatever, that's fine, you know, but you're always going to be paying over the odds. Somebody's going to be making money and skimming off of you. It just makes more sense to buy your own, you know. Yeah, it seems that they are trying to judge. Well, what they're trying to do, they're trying to judge me whether or not I'm actually a painter and decorator and have an actual job, firstly. And then they're trying to judge me and throw things in my face because I bought a house, what, 4 months? Look at this place that I finally managed to buy. You know, I was able to purchase it finally. And, yeah, I was proud of that, you know. Who else have we got in? Why do so-called real flat earthers monetize their channel and Patreons and stuff? So, I can see that somebody's asked that question. Well, if you want an answer to that, I'll tell you why. Because I've started a new show up, right? So, This new show that I've started up is taking up probably around about 7 to 8 hours of live each week, right? On top of that, I then have to do all the getting a hold of people, answering the emails, taking trying to actually encourage people to come on the show, discussing them with it on Skype. Probably in the close to 15 to 16 hours a week working just on the show. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to cut back myself on my decorating work. Like, for instance, my shows start at 6 p.m, which means that I have to finish up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Doesn't sound a lot, but if you're a painter and decorator and you're self-employed, you'd rather be working till 6. So every time that I'm doing a show, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, I'm knocking 2 hours off my work time, right? Then when I come home, you've got to do work-life balance with your family. So when I get home from work, and on the Friday night, for instance, the entire Friday night, I'm not spending any time with the missus. So you guys ask, why would you want to monetize your channel? Well, ultimately, I'm losing money by not working full-time hours as a painter and decorator to do my show. And then I'm also committing a lot of my personal time and investment into this. And I'm sacrificing other things for that. I'm sacrificing time with the missus, time going out and wanting to spend time with my friends. I don't have a social life. You might not know who I am or what I do, but I also spend 16 hours a week looking after my mother who has motor neurone disease. So after I finish working a full-time job, I'm doing 16 hours a week doing on my show, and I'm also doing 16 hours a week working for my mum. And I don't do that for any financial gain, but I do that to give my dad a break and my sister a break. Since I moved out, because when I was there, that was all I ever did. But since I've moved out, I'm still I'm constantly at this all the time. I'm working. I don't get a break, guys. I don't have a social life. My only social life is working for Flat Earth. And that's it. So if people want to support that, I feel grateful when people give me a super chat. I feel grateful when they support me on Patreon. If you really want to know, that's the case. Or you can just bitch about it, and you can just go ahead and just make hit videos about people that monetize the channel when they don't actually know the full circumstances. Realistically, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do anything on Flat Earth. I do it because I know that the Earth is flat, and I want to try and encourage people to look into it themselves and try to be objective with all the results that we're coming through. That's why I've opened my channel up to Globe Earthers and Concave and you name it. I want to know the answers. I'm not prepared to just sit around and just ignore that fact when it's going around in my head. But that still doesn't stop the fact that I have a mortgage to pay. I still have to go to work. I still have to be a painter and decorator. I still have to go and look after my mother who has motor neurone disease. Literally just in a chair that just reclines and sits up. She can't stand up. She can't do anything. She can't move anything except for just one hand. She can't feed herself. Job to help keep the mortgage and pay for and give my wife, my future wife, to have some kind of life. And then in the only spare time that I get, I'm doing Flat Earth. And you guys want to criticize me for that and try and make out that I'm not this and just make shit up about me? Get stuffed. Get stuffed. I do this for you guys. I do this for you guys. And, you don't have to like it. You don't even have to support me. I don't tell anybody to go and support my channel. I don't tell anybody to go and, I'm not doing shout outs saying, oh, please hit the super chat or please be a Patreon of mine. I'm not doing that. I do my stream, I get off of it, and that's it. If people want to support me, out of their own pocket to help me to do that, then that's great. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, Yes, David Gregory, I did. I did it through Blackpool and the Fylde College, which is associated with Lancaster. However, the degree itself came from Lancaster and is accredited to Lancaster University. The reason I went to Blackpool and Fylde College meant that it meant that I didn't actually have to physically drive all the way over to Lancaster University. There we go. We're back again. So I need to catch up on the what people are saying. Rancy, I see through your lies, dude. You give Flat Earth a terrible name. Ken Burns and stuff make you look silly, man. Well, here's the thing, guys. You know, I took every single person off block and banned them from my channel, you know, to try and open up the platform to make it a freer place for you guys to come in and chat and stuff like this. And through the entire time that I've been on Flat Earth, you know, I've never hidden anything from you guys. I've always been, you know, upfront and just honest about things. You know, I've just laid it on the line right now that I'm being honest yet again. And if you guys are just going to say shit like that, I mean, right, so whatever your name is, whatever your name is, I'll work it out on the re-upload because I can't sort it out from my phone. But whatever your name is, whatever you're called, you're getting banned, mate. Banned for life. Seriously, I mean, you had an opportunity here just to come in and just talk like a normal human. You know, I mean, I don't have... would you like me to go and do a live stream of me looking after my mother in her incontinent state when she can't even stand up, look after herself, feed herself? Would you like me to do a live stream proving that my mother has motor neurone disease? Would that sort of like encourage you as well? I mean, the fact that I have to do these live streams showing that I'm a painter and decorator is, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what you guys are on and what you intend to do. Is this how you drove people away in the past? Is this why people like Patricia Steer have ended up having to leave because of this incessant bullshit and lies that you spread about them, these rumour mills, you know? I mean, what is it you actually want? I mean, do you want a 24-hour live stream of me? Do you actually think that this is some kind of CIA safe house or something like that MI5 fucking place that I'm actually painting? Is that what you think? And I really don't understand what your problem is. Really don't understand what the problem is. But have you heard this? He is saying, whatever your name is, you're getting banned. When I get home, you're being banned for life. Because I just don't need this shit on my channel. You know? Just don't need it. I'm just... Dell. I'd love to give you a spanner and then you can just fucking ban. Actually, I tell you what. Here's the deal. I'm going to get 3 globe earthers and 3 flat earthers, and I'm going to give them spanners tonight on the stream tonight. So whoever's in the chat tonight, I'm going to give spanners out to maybe to 3, maybe 5, you know, flat earthers and globe earthers. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to even things out a little bit. I'm not having it biased in any way. But your only reason for having a spanner will be to ban people just like this who literally just attack myself for no fucking reason. I ain't got time to go around monitoring this. You know, I don't need it. I really genuinely don't need this. I've got enough going on in my life without having to fucking look out for people making hit pieces against me for no reason. David Gregory, I mean, I got a full honours degree. The first 2 years was a degree, well, was a 2-year degree in interactive media development. That was the full name of the course. Third year, the final year, when it went upgraded to full honours degree, it was called media design. Would you like me to spell it? I mean, you can go and check David Gregory. I mean, I assume the reason that you're actually looking into this is because you don't believe a word that I've just said about me taking a degree on. So there you go. Go check it out. Interactive media development was for the first 2 years, and the final year was for media design. The foundation degree was for interactive media development. The full honours degree was for media design. David Gregory, if you would like to, I tell you what, if you would like to bet £10,000 right now, I will bet you £10,000 right now that I have a foundation degree in interactive media development and a full honours degree in media design. So I don't care whether you worked there for 8 years or you didn't. All I'm telling you right now is it's not a issue. So if you want to bet £10,000 on it right now, I will bet you £10,000 on it right this second. And you can hold me to that. So all I need from you, David Gregory, is to just say you're up for this, and I'll just wait for the 10 grand to hit my pocket. What else? Anyway, so there you go. So ring them up, ask. Rancie's legs has legs bigger than her torso. See, you're not doing yourself any favours, you know, I mean, really. I mean, what do you get? This troll stuff that you're talking about. Just don't get it. So hopefully we're going to get a debate going soon between Right the Hand and Brenda von Assen. They've both done a video with opposing views. So I would hope that probably sometime next week, if we can get something organised, we'll get the first debate going on the round table. Because ultimately that's what I want. I want two opposing forces to literally take each other's, I wouldn't say presentation apart, but literally take them to task on their beliefs. Right, David Gregory, what did you just say? Blackpool and Fylde College didn't have a degree of that name in 2011. Right, well, as I say, 2011, 2012, something like that. You can check it on my Facebook, it's up there. I think if I minimise this now and look on my Facebook, I'll lose the stream. I think I will. Wonder if I try that, if I try and oh no, I think if I minimise it, I'm going to lose the stream, so I won't be able to check. But I'm still waiting for you to agree that you want to bet 10 grand on it, because David, I'll bet you 10 grand on it, because I don't have 10 grand, but I know that I have the degree, so I don't even need the money to prove it, because I just know that I have it, and I know that it's easily checked. But you'll have to pay up. Do I have 10 grand? I don't even, to be honest, I don't even have 100 quid in my account. That's how fucking bad shit is. Literally. I have records here. Nothing of that name, Ranty. No such degree at Blackpool and the Fylde College. Alright, okay. Maybe you should get in touch with Dean Park then. If you want to look up for the lecturer Dean Park. Or Chris Willits. Chris Willits was the other lecturer there. Actually, I think Chris Willits still works there. If you want to phone up Blackpool and Fylde College right now, ask to speak to Chris Willits. I think he's the head of the department now, actually. So ring him up, ask him to speak to him, and he will confirm it. And then you can wire me the 10 grand. That's ace. Thank you. I assume you're going for this 10 grand bet. I know Dean and Chris. Yeah, so do I. The friends on my Facebook. I've been out drinking many a time with Dean. I've drunk a few times with Chris. Dean's a bit of a party animal, if you know him. Right, who else have we got? Me, still waiting for this damn wall to dry. I reckon another 10 minutes and then I'll round up because I know Arwin will be going live soon. Dean Park. Where did you get Dean Odell from? Dean Park. He's actually left the college now. He's set up on his own, going because he's actually a whiz with computers. So I'm not surprised that he did that. But Chris Willits is a bit of well, his dad works there, you see. So there we go. Right, ran to Flat Earth Watch. Right at the hand. He's buddies with. Well, listen. I don't. Well, look. At the end of the day, I'm not here to watch anybody. I'm just here to try and just sort out what the shape of the Earth is. You know. No, David, I don't have any wires crossed somewhere. I have no crossed wires at all. My wires are fine, thank you very much. In fact, what's her name? Colette Mazzola. So if you want to actually, you might know Colette Mazzola. So she's a lecturer there now herself. So if you know her, right, she was actually on the same course as me. So she actually stayed on because she got a first class honours. So she stayed on and she actually became a lecturer at the, after the fact sort of thing. So she was on the same course as me. So if you're in touch with Colette Mazzola, who you should be because she's a lecturer at the college, she was on the same course. Ask her what degrees and what foundation degrees she has. And then ask if she knows me. It was about that time, David Gregory, roughly, I would say. Maybe she'd just started. You can find her, ring up David Mazzola. David Mazzola. You got me, David and. Yeah, Chris Willits' dad, I don't know what I can't remember what his name was now, but I know it was something Willits. And I know that he used to be a police officer. And I know that he didn't teach anymore after my first few months of being there. So whatever time it was that I took my first year of my foundation, I'd done maybe 3 or 4 months there, and he didn't come back after that. I think they kept his place open for a short time, but basically he stepped down. I can't remember what his dad was called though, something Willits. Stating your educational level doesn't seem to help if you're a flatty. All the best, Rancy. Have a good one. Look, I'm not saying that I'm in any way, shape or form what you would class as intelligent. But what I would say is that I can, when I so wish, apply myself to something to a point where I can become quite knowledgeable about something. So the fact that you have a degree just proves that you can actually work to a high standard for 3 years. You can actually apply yourself for 3 years and you can actually end up getting a high qualification. Doesn't mean that you're in any way, shape or form intelligent. It just means that you can apply yourself. And I think that's all it really for the 3rd year was just to prove to myself that I could actually do it. Because when I left school, I left school with nothing, Not a single GCSE, nothing. In fact, I had to blag myself in to sixth form to try and resit them because I didn't even have anything. I think the highest grade I had was like an E. Literally, I had absolutely nothing. So I ended up going to sixth form college, and I took 6 GCSEs, and I actually got all 6 GCSEs. Once I'd had that shock of my life after thinking I could just sail through my GCSEs without any kind of preparation or any research or studying, nothing like that. I ended up with nothing, and then I went and after that kick up the arse, I went to sixth form college, and I took maths, English, business studies, religious education, chemistry, and biology of them. I think I got a B and 5 C's. But all that proved was that you could just get this kick up the arse and you could apply yourself if you really wanted to. You know? A lot of people that don't have degrees or don't have GCSEs go on to have a very good life because they have other qualifications in life. You know, they can apply themselves to the real world and set up a business and do all kinds of different things. You know, they don't just having a qualification doesn't prove you anything. Doesn't prove you're intelligent, doesn't improve nothing at all, just proves that you can apply yourself. But then again, people in the real world apply themselves to life. So it's equal in every respect, you know. In fact, I much prefer people that are qualified in life to people that have a qualification in a degree form, because it's greater than reciting a few things and getting a pat on the back and a qualification at the end of it. You know, actually applying that in the real world and making something of yourself is far tougher. I'm really struggling to see some of the comments right now, so just bear with me. Right, hang on. What, David Gregory? What's up? What's going on? Just online, checking things out. I will be emailing. Excellent. Get in touch with the main person I would say get in touch with is Chris Willits. And if I tell you what, David Gregory, if you want, you can email me ranty@rantyflatearth.com, and I'll put you in touch with Chris Willits. Not a problem. If you don't have his phone number or anything like that, I can put you in direct contact with him. You can give him a telephone call and you can ask him. How's that? Alright, sorry. My mistake. The real question is, that hanging chair in the corner actually comfortable? I haven't tried it, but I'm going to, actually. Yeah, I probably am. Look. Let's go and try this out. Let's go and try this hanging back. I hope I don't bloody break it. Ugh. Ow! Oh, it's not comfortable at all. Ow! Right the hand. Have you got an email, please? I will start a chat. I have stuff I want to show you. No, I'm sorry. You're getting banned for life. Whatever your name is. Ow. Well, it's not on the clock, David. I don't do things on the clock. I give a price for the job, and the job takes as long as the job takes. So the person always knows prior to me finishing or starting the job exactly what they're going to pay. So I never increase my price, I never lower my price. The price is the price. So if I tell someone it's going to cost them 50 quid at the end of the paint to dry, it's actually costing me for the paint drying rather than them, unfortunately. But that's just life. In fact, the last job I was on, that job that I was on yesterday that I was showing you when I finished up, that job cost me money because I told them it was only going to take me 4 days. So I gave them a price for 4 days work, And the way I judge things is that I don't blame the person or the job for any problems that I find when I'm in the job. And the fact that it had an awful lot of damp in the house and it needed addressing meant that the job actually took me close to 7 days. But I never went to them and said to them, do you know what, it's going to cost you extra money. I just kept to the price for 4 days work. And at the end of the day, because what's worse, a lot of people save up money to have a room painted or stripped and decorated, and it does cost money to do that. So the last thing you want to do when you give them a price for a job is to turn up and then start throwing stuff on top and saying, hey, guess what, it's going to take this and it's going to cost that and this needs doing and that needs doing, and then suddenly, they're ending up in dire straits because, they need more work doing. I've never worked like that. I've always been just upfront with the price, and the price is just the price, and more often than not, it's me that loses out. But hey, it's just the way it is. I'm not a twat. Never would be a twat. This is more interesting than the round table. Well, to be fair, today, I've seen Spurs Chemo's presentation, actually, and I wanted to talk about that, so I hope that you guys are going to tune in to watch it, because he has put an awful lot of effort into this, I have to say. I've never really seen anything that Spurs has actually done before, I don't think he's ever done anything like this, but he's put an awful lot of work into it, and honestly, right, listen, the stream, as all my streams, will get demonetized. They always do, and this will be no exception, because I'm sure he's using content that is, it's going to be claimed by other people. So it's just one of them. But the amount of work that he's put into it, it's got to be said. He's creating an argument here. He's creating an argument, and I'd like you guys to tune in and listen to what he's actually saying, because I would like to see it debunked. I want to see people rise up and challenge this, but ultimately, he's put the work in and he's got an argument. That's all I've got to say. So, yeah. So right, okay, so, Roxanne the Globalist Denier. Yep, shout out to Roxanne the Globalist Denier. Oh, excuse me. Saucy London, I think air is super thin water. I never thought of it like that right at the hand, but who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Shout out to Dolly Daydream. Yep, Dolly Daydream. Putting things out there, going on cam, saying hello to the world, and I'm a flat earther, and going and actually doing stuff, and actually making a difference, or trying to at least elicit some kind of change. Most of the people, the trolls that are in here, I say most of the trolls that are in here, would never go on cam. And that's where they can just make assertions and call people names and put this trans agenda out, without any kind of basis, just because a couple of women decide that they want to go on cam and talk about flat earth. And I think that says more about you than it does them. Sure, you go on cam. Of course you do. At the end of the day, people are just human beings here. We're all trying to find answers. It just seems that, and I'll be honest, it seems that these troll accounts, these people that come in and create drama for nothing, are actually the real secret misinformation, MI5 kind of people, if you want to call them that, because, their agenda is to chase away genuine researchers. So what they'll do, they'll put videos after videos, hit piece after hit piece out, and people leave. People do leave because ultimately they can't deal with the amount of shit that's coming their way. They actually feel that it's not worth it personally to the, everyone has a breaking point, and that's what they play on. And if anything, these people that do these hit piece videos are the ones that people should be scrutinizing. These trolls, they're the ones that you should be looking into and saying, what is your problem? Why are you doing this? These people are putting clearly an awful lot of work into this, and all you've got is negativity, and they make shit up, literally make shit up, and yeah, they're the ones that you need to be looking out for. See what that part of the garden is like, fella. I'll look through the archway. Ba-bum-bum. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? Pretty sweet garden, I have to say. Oh. Yeah, that thing was quite uncomfortable because it, as you can see, it didn't have a bloody cushion on it, so I was sat on the bamboo. Thanks very much whoever suggested me sitting on that. I think it was you, Brandon Toy. You were the one that said, is that comfortable? Well, I can assure you it was not comfortable. My ass is pretty sore right now. Lifting the lid, yeah, well said. You were saying this to Bob yesterday with Roxanne. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, these people that are trying to cause drama and division and stuff like that, not necessarily even the division, just targeting people, individuals, for having an opinion, making stuff up. They're the ones that are really the ones you should be watching. Jimbo, FE is about getting our freedom back, yeah. But if nobody's talking about getting your freedom back, then nobody... There's a lot of people making a lot of noise. That freedom's going to stay locked away. So I can understand where you're coming from, but ultimately, if you're silencing people or trying to silence people and trying to get rid of them because they're putting videos out about Flat Earth, they're the ones that are actually silencing the Flat Earth. Think about it. Enjoy your pizza there, Mind Warped. Hi, F.E. Maori. Ian Matterson, nice to see you in. See you later, Del. Yep, see you later. Right, well, with a bit of luck, I've been going now for bloody 50 minutes. Bit of luck, that wall might be dry. Ranty has 0% discernment. Wint James, I have no idea what that means. Or where you're applying this to, or why. Break the group thinking, FE. Have you seen the most recent video by Bob about his gyroscope? Not his gyroscope, but something that FE Core were working towards now. You guys may or may not know that I am actually a member of FE Core. It's not cost me anything to join them. I was invited to join them primarily because of my research with the optics at the horizon. However, and I've had no input into the gyroscope stuff, I have been privy to their workings and how they've actually been going ahead and formulated all the stuff. So when I've seen that in the behind the scenes coming to fruition, and you realise that groupthink that you just said you don't want to have groupthink, well, it was that groupthink that actually made the gyroscopes and the stuff that they've actually been putting out come together. With just one person doing it, and it wouldn't have got anywhere. So there you go. I mean, groupthink helped sort that problem out. Solo didn't. Yeah, but it's targeted to Jimbo. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I have no idea why FE Core is kind of like some kind of bad word, like people, like, oh, if you're a member of FE Core, you're this or that and the other. No, you've just been asked to help out and put your brain with somebody else's brain because they can see that you're actually capable of doing something like that, and then they actually have a problem that they need to solve, and then everybody has a bit of input. If they have any kind of input that they can put into it, then they do. And then somebody, whoever has that original problem, puts the rest of it together with everybody's help. It's not, I don't know what you think it is, or what what you don't think it is, but literally that's what it is. There's problems, and there's ways that we can figure out where we live by using technology, and it's applying that groupthink mentality that we're out, because we're not going to get other people just coming along out of the blue and just saying we can help you, because who's to say whether we trust them, so the people that are actually in FE Core are somewhat trusted people that have put the time and effort into Flat Earth and done the research and showed that they're actually really dedicated flat earthers, and they're the guys that they want to bring in because they think, hey, we can trust these guys to help us do the right thing, and that's what we're trying to do the right thing. I just don't understand. Literally, I mean, I wish you guys would stop pissing all over FE Core, because they're doing a great service for yous, and they're not doing it, they're not asking you for anything. They're doing it for you, and all they're getting back is bitching. All they're getting back is bitching, arguments, the this, the that, and the other. But you'll watch the videos, and then you'll take their proofs, and then you'll use it yourself, and you'll be like, hey, yeah, we got this, blah, 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 blah. But in the meantime, you're stabbing them in the back at the same time. Yeah, check my channel out, David Gregory. You can see plenty of research on optics. There's lots of it there. Looby-loo, but FE Core don't use a scientific method. No, but they use scientific equipment that can be used to give a indication. And if you know how science works, that's mainly about probability. Because let's be honest, the scientific method cannot be used in any shape or form to determine the shape of the Earth. It's just impossible. You can't manipulate the independent variable in ultimately anything to do with the shape of the Earth. So the scientific method falls flat on its face when it's asked to figure out the shape of the Earth. And it's just, and then it's the way I was saying to Nathan and Quantum Eraser, that it is kind of like a trick question. It is, because there's nothing that you can put into that little set of, that little box, and get to the end. It's like a trick question, and that's just it. So the scientific method cannot be applied to figuring out the shape of the Earth. I know that, I'm quite well of that. So most of the Globers, they know that too, so it is more of a case of just that the reason that's brought out is just to prove that there is no scientific proof of the shape of the Earth, and that's it. And we all know that. We're getting the point. We get the message. We know that you cannot figure out the shape of the Earth using the scientific method. So you have to bypass that and use other means to determine the shape. And it's whether or not it passes scrutiny with the work that you do. I highly recommend you looking at the gyroscope video from Globebusters, the one that was done through FE Core. Highly recommend you head over there immediately to go and watch that video, and you will be gobsmacked at the results that can be achieved when people put their heads together and build something that categorically proves that we aren't fucking spinning. Right, well, as you know, guys, I'm going to have to get back to work now. That wall should be dry, and you've got another place to go and chillax and have a chat with. You've got Arwin's that's probably just started now, and then you'll have Nathan's debate. And then at 6 p.m, hopefully, you'll have time to stop by and check out Spurs Chemo when he does his presentation. It's pretty good. He's put a lot of work into it, so it's definitely worth checking out. Right. Well, back to the grind, guys. So I suggest you head on over to Arwin's. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next one.